you can see that we got the fire burning. This is getting hot. We got our trusty Dutch oven right there. So we're gonna see when she's ready and the fire's tamed down a little bit, we're gonna put all our ingredients in this Dutch oven and fire it right up like we're camping. We got our fires taming down, and I don't know if you could see very well, but right down here, this area, that's where the coals are the hottest. I have these sticks that I just kind of use to get it hot. But just like cooking in the oven, we've got to preheat our Dutch oven. So there's a little ash in there, don't mind that, but we're gonna leave the lid off to the side, and we're gonna let that heat up for a little bit, and then we're gonna put our we're gonna start with the onions and the hamburger meat and get some of these sticks out of the way. And I don't know if you see, I got kind of the back side here is some other firewood. That way that heat is kind of dissipating, it's going this way, but we got all those coals underneath the Dutch oven. That's where we want them. So he's been preheating for a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and get some of this ash out of here because we don't want that ashy, all those ashes in our food. So we're gonna go ahead and put her back in there like so. Now, one thing I will say is we want to probably use some of this. I don't want to use a lot, but I just kind of want to grease the pan a little bit. Let that get in there real nice. Did I bring Harry with me? Yeah. And don't you worry, guys, we got Harry joining us. So I'm just gonna kind of get this oil mixed around in here. It's kind of getting smoky. Hopefully you can see real good. I'm gonna do a little test here and see if she's hot enough yet. Well, she's getting there. Now we're gonna add those onions. Ooh, that smells. Sounds good. And then I'm gonna go in with some Tonys. Instead of like salt and pepper, we're just gonna do some Tonys in there for now. Give that a little bit of seasoning. So let that go. We got that ground beef, so we're gonna go ahead and put that in there with the onion. Actually, first, need to give it a little stir. See, doesn't this give you good vibes? You know what I'm saying? Like just the idea of being outside, getting away from all the hustle bustle in life. And you know, if you don't have a place like mine, you don't have a big backyard, I mean, you could pretend, right? I mean, remember when I was a kid, I mean, we used to play pretend games all the time because we didn't have the video games and all that we have now. So now we're just gonna kind of mix up this meat. Yeah, I was born in 78, so kind of tells you 47, so I didn't have multiplayer, Halo and Fortnite and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm just gonna kind of mix this in. She's a browning up real nice. Now, one thing I definitely will say on this recipe, since it is a Dutch oven, and we're going to be adding some rice to this, and it's actually like the raw rice, or you know, not the minute rice. It takes more than a minute. It takes like 20. Anyway, so that's why we got that lid. That lid's going to help us out real nice. So we're just trying to brown this meat up. So we're going to let it keep going. Yeah, as this is heating up, the beautiful thing about cast iron is that you can do these kind of things, because if your heat source isn't 100% even, and say you're getting more heat on this side of the pan or on this side of the pan, since cast iron is so dense and such a thick type of metal, it's going to heat evenly over time, and that makes this versatile cookware. And like I say, you know, in some of my other videos, you can cook on it inside or outside. So I thought, you know, we'd take it outside, and guess what? Less to clean up, guys. That way mama, she can't get mad at me, you know, for dirtying up the kitchen for once. So we're gonna keep browning this, letting it do its thing. She's getting there. She's getting there. That meat's about browned up. So this is where we're gonna start adding some stuff. We're not gonna go too crazy yet. All right, so first thing we're gonna add is this is a little packet of, it was like in a taco kit. It's more of a liquid sauce. That's why I'm gonna go ahead and put this in now, because we want that to marinate with that meat for a little while. So you could do like the McCormick if you want to do that. I just had this and my wife told me, if you're gonna do it, why don't you use that? Like, I mean, something like this, like the taco season, they sell it in little packets too. And I think one packet does like 1 pound worth of meat. You might need 2 packets, but you can read the instructions on the packet. But I have this little bit of extra just in case, because I've never used this specific taco sauce, so I don't want to over season it. And again, you can see that's getting really browned up and nice. It's so nice, it's almost time to add the rice. We're gonna go ahead and put in some beef broth. We're gonna do 4 cups. So one of these little deals right here comes out to be 4 cups. We're gonna go ahead and add that in there. Ooh. Got a little ash in there. It's gonna give it a little campfire spice. And I'm just kind of easing it in there. All right, there we go. So that should drop the temperature a little bit. But that's another thing about cast iron is the thermal mass. So since it has such a high thermal mass, what happens is when you put a colder liquid, I mean, I'm not saying to put ice water in it, but when you put a colder liquid or room temperature liquid into a cast iron pot versus say an aluminum or a stainless, it's gonna get hotter faster versus it being a lower thermal mass like one of those. It's gonna cool the pan down. So this might take you a little longer to do this in another type of pot, and you probably don't have a pot you could take outside. So if you want to do this inside, you can. I mean, if you don't have a backyard or a place to do all this, I get it. So basically what we're going to do now is I want this to get up to a boil, like a rolling boil, and we're going to add in the other ingredients, and then we're going to let it simmer. Let's see if I missed anything. Okay, yeah, we can go ahead and throw those diced tomatoes. This is like the Rotel, the Walmart brand, Rotel. You could use regular diced tomatoes if you don't want to use these. But this is just going to give us more flavor. Look at that. It looks good. Give it a little stir, Rooney. All this campfire. So nice. So peaceful. Yeah, so just imagine our ancestors, right? In the 1800s or even the 1950s. They had the same beautiful cookware in their kitchen. And they may have been cooking outside or they may have been cooking inside. And that's the crazy thing. I don't even know how old this pan is that Joanne gave me. But who knows? Somebody in the 1800s could have been doing the very same thing somewhere in the other part of the world. And that's amazing just to think about that. Okay, so now that we got that water almost to a simmer, yeah, we're gonna wait just a little bit longer. I'm getting there to a little rolling boil here, hot enough. So now we're gonna add our rice in. This is 2 cups of rice, so we're just gonna put that in there. And then we're gonna stir it together. Got the rice in there, and we're gonna put the lid on, and we're gonna let it simmer for about 20 minutes. It's been about 10 minutes. I just want to go ahead and check and make sure. Yeah, because sometimes when you do this, the rice will dry up and you need to add a little water. So one thing I would do is I'd make sure that you have a little bottle of water next to you just in case. Because the last thing we want to do is for this to end up being a disaster. I was kind of getting curious when I just opened that lid up and that it was still so soupy. And I realized I didn't read my instructions or my recipe. I was supposed to use 4 cups of rice to 4 cups of broth. So that's why we're in this predicament. So anyway, so I added more rice. So this is going to add to our cook time, but this should thicken it up real nice. That's what you don't want. This isn't taco soup here, guys. I'll let this sit for another 10 minutes. Let's see where we're at. Guys, it's the moment of truth. It's been about 20 minutes. Oh, look at that. Wow. See that rice? Yeah, she's done. Now is the time that you add your cheese. You definitely wait till the end to add cheese. And I only had half of this left. And I have some bag cheese in the fridge, but that's okay. You can always add cheese to yours if you want more. So I'm gonna go ahead and I cut these up in cubes, add those babies in there. And then this is gonna help thicken everything up as well. Okay, now we're gonna put the lid back on. Let it finish cooking. Well, as always, guys, you know, I've appreciated you joining me cooking this. And I hope that you can take time to get outside and get away from all your problems and just escape for a little bit. So we're gonna let this stir up a little bit more. And then you might be wondering, well, how do you eat this? Like, what's the, you know, I mean, some people can, you know, they'll eat it just like this, you know. But, you know, like my kids, they like to wrap it in a tortilla. So you can make like a taco or a burrito, or you can go ahead and make some taco shells and put it in there. And you don't have to worry about, you know, loading your beans or doing all that. If you want to make a side of refried beans with this, you can. And then that way you have a true Mexican dinner. But I mean, if you're on a campfire, the easiest thing to do is just bring a pack of tortillas. And one thing you could do, which I didn't bring it with me, but you could flip that Dutch oven upside down like that on a campfire, put your tortilla on there and just let it heat up for a little bit. There you go. Or you can eat it like this. I mean, I like it like this personally, but it's going to be thick and hearty. It's going to stick to your ribs and all that good stuff. So anyway, I'm going to let this cool down and I'm going to bring her inside. This is what it looks like when we come inside, guys. Right here. You can see that texture. And so for me, like I said, I'm just going to put it on a tortilla like so. Wrap it up. And that's dinner. And she goes. She goes. And as always, from my kitchen or campfire to yours, Heath Haley from East Texas Duct Tape. Thank you and God bless.